Number 1. GOT7's Bam and Nichkhun. Recently, in September 2021, a Thai MC named Madam Kachapa was invited to make comments on Lisa's solo debut with La Lisa. And at first, things were going all smoothly because everything he said about Lisa's debut was extremely positive. The thing is, while he could have stopped at saying she was the pride of Thailand, the MC somehow had to continue his flattering speech to Lisa by saying in their history, never once had Thai idols made it to the world class like Lisa. And though there was Nichkhun, he wasn't that successful. As if he was having a beef with all Thai male artists from JYP Entertainment, Kachapa then called out Bam, saying he wasn't a pride either, and what he did was mediocre. However, do you know what was the worst and most disrespectful part this MC did on that show? He asked a girl to go out just because she played Bam's ribbon around him. Soon enough, netizens brought this issue to Twitter and made a huge fuss over the MC, criticizing him for being ill-informed, biased, and super rude towards the two idols. They believed Kachapa was too senseless to say Nichkhun and Bam are inferior to Lisa, because had it not been for them, K-pop would probably have never opened the gate toward younger Thai idols. In fact, Nichkhun had opened the gate to all foreign idols and proved that non-Korean idols could also be super big in the industry, changing the prejudices of many big companies around investing in foreign trainees. Moreover, K-pop itself would have also missed out on such a profitable market like Thailand because it was also Nichkhun who brought Running Man to the country in 2011, paving the way for many K-shows organized in the open arms of the country. Bam's fans also fiercely criticized the MC for being so ignorant, because while the president of South Korea proudly recognized the contributions of Bam and Nichkhun to the Hallyu wave, along with Lisa of course, Kachapa was there, knowing nothing about their work but still acting as if he knew everything about K-pop like the back of his hand. Later, this MC also released a public apology to Nichkhun and Bam, but many people believed he was doing that for show, still trying to be the victim by writing, "I've never had any bad intentions," despite the fact that he also dismissed another person in the room for playing Bam's ribbon. Number 2. BLACKPINK's Jennie. Back to the beginning of 2020, where BLACKPINK was invited to a Samsung event held in Indonesia, lots of fans were triggered after seeing how the MC treated Jennie, and ended up making her have teary eyes right on the live broadcast. Basically, when BLACKPINK appeared at the event that day, many noticed that there were lots of hate comments aimed at Jennie, shaming, insulting, and mocking her right on the livestream. However, according to some fans, the MC was being unprofessional for not gauging the audience's reactions, and even asking Jennie to read the comments very soon after that. Still, that wasn't the only bad thing about this interview, because as some also noticed, the MC was basically ignoring Jennie for the whole session, and only focusing on the other 3 members. The questions raised for Jennie were very limited, and again, this indirectly directed her attention more to the phone, and seeing all those malicious words posted by anti-fans. The MC then quickly posted a long explanation on Instagram, saying that it was Jennie's staff that asked him to not ask her many questions due to her unwell health condition that day. Moreover, he didn't mean to make her read hate comments either, because every request was written on the script and he just did what he was supposed to. Still, many fans kept their stance and continued trending the hashtag #JennieDeservesBetter, criticizing the MC for being unprofessional and incompetent, for not knowing how to improvise considering the situation. Number 3. NCT 127's Taeyong. Turning back time a bit to 2019, Taeyong was also another idol disrespected by an MC while the group was having schedules in the States. Things all started when the group appeared on Despierta America, and all of a sudden, the Latino MC thought it a good thing to force a female fan to kiss Taeyong right on the broadcast. What's even ruder was that, while the fan obviously expressed she didn't want to kiss Taeyong, and she was totally uncomfortable with the idea, the MC still insisted on what he said, pushing this fan closer to Taeyong. Luckily, the girl was sensible enough to not touch him the way the MC wanted. From another camera angle, you can see she was trying to get out of that awkward situation. Even though nothing really happened, many fans still criticized the MC for not only disrespecting both Taeyong and his fans, but also prompting mild sexual harassment on the spot. They believed as an MC for such a big group like NCT 127, he should have educated himself better about cultural differences, and how South Korean people would never greet each other with a kiss like Hispanic people. Actually, a Hispanic fan said that she was pretty sure the MC was well aware of this cultural difference, because as a Hispanic, she confirmed no rational person around her would force a kiss on foreign people unless they were crazy. Combining this with the fact that the girl was strongly against that idea, yet he still pushed her with force towards Taeyong, also showed that the MC was merely disrespectful and ignorant. Number 4. Nojae. While Nojae is neither an idol nor ever intended to become one, She's still one of the most popular faces in K-Biz recently after her appearance on Street Woman Fighter. So I hope you can see why her name was included along with the other famous idols here on the list. Anyway, let's see how Nojae, despite all the fame and money, was still looked down upon by an MC with her recent appearance at the 2021 Korean Fashion Awards on December 12th. When it was Nojae's turn to do her catwalk on the runway, she was introduced by MC Kim Hyun-wook as a famous star of that night's show. The weirdest thing was that while he could have stopped there to keep the positive vibe for such an important event and not hurt anyone's feelings, he instead added that, in fact, we've spent lots of money to bring her here, but seemingly all these efforts didn't work really well as we expect, implying that Nojae's influences weren't even that big, and it was their mistake to spend a bunch of money for the internet overhype over Nojae. As if that wasn't unprofessional enough, he even nitpicked her outfit and asked her to dance despite the apparent confusion written on Nojae's face. Without a hint of respect, he blatantly said, "She's wearing a hat, but why is she doing it? I'm quite disappointed because we could have asked her to dance, but ended up not doing so." Then he casually brought her down even more, asking Nojae, "Why are you wearing a hat? You were supposed to look cool when you were coming out wearing a hat, but no one knew that you were Nojae even though you were the first model of the show because you walked out with your head down." So he must have stopped here because he was an MC for this huge fashion show, right? Surprisingly, he didn't, and still decided to put on an attitude, asking her to dance all over again and again despite Nojae's confused expression. His demand gradually became so intense that she had to do it to get out of that disrespectful interview quickly. Of course, it's hard to tell what he was thinking at that time, but as some believed, the MC was being merely passive-aggressive, shamelessly blaming the low rating of the show on Nojae and using her as an excuse as to why the whole thing didn't come out as successfully as they expected. Some also said the attitude of Hyun-wook at this point was unjustifiably rude, because while everyone knows that outfits showcased on the runway were completely decided by the stylists, rather than the model, Hyun-wook's dissing her for wearing a hat was impudent and only showed he was an unprepared MC, failing to acquire basic knowledge about this field. So do you think these MCs were actually rude, or were people just being overly sensitive and trying to make a fuss over nothing? Comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, remember to like, share, and subscribe to BeBoss TV for more interesting K-pop content. Thank you for watching.